Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only animation legends. And yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is gonna be What If Naruto Was Neglected by his family and had the powers of the otsutski clan. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be really OP of a series. As in this series, we are gonna have Naruto having many of the abilities of the otsutski clan becoming stronger and stronger, and one day even taking care of the otsutski clan. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be really OP of a series. And if you guys have some ideas about the story, you can tell me in the comment section, and I will try my best to make some parts according to your ideas as well in the story. So yeah, guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really appreciated by me, as I want to reach 20k subscribers in this channel, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. So without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video. So we are gonna start our story with the protagonist of our story, Uzumaki Naruto. At the moment, he was standing in the Uchiha clan district, and in front of him were the dead bodies of all the Uchiha clan members as Naruto simply scoffed as he looked towards the Hokage building. So much for the Will of Fire, father, as Naruto thought in his mind as he quickly walked towards a specific home. As Naruto finally entered it to see two dead bodies were present there. These were the bodies of Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto. As Naruto simply walked towards them as he simply chuckled. Well, look at that. It seemed that I got lucky before those pesky root ambu could arrive here. With that, Naruto simply smiled as Naruto opened his palm, and in his palm was a red Rinne Sharingan. This was the ability of Naruto, which Naruto was born with. In his arm had a Rinne Sharingan. As Naruto's Rinne Sharingan started to glow as both Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto started to float in mid-air, and both of them, their bodies started to get engulfed with the vortex of power, and just like that, two pills appeared in Naruto's hand. This was the ability which Naruto had gained. He can turn anything with chakra into chakra fruits and chakra pills. Even though Fugaku Uchiha was a cage level shinobi, but it was still not enough to make a chakra fruit, but these chakra pills were still really powerful. Naruto can gain any abilities of the person he can turn into a chakra fruit. On top of that, if they have any Kekkei Genkai, Naruto will also possess it. With that, Naruto simply grabbed both of the chakra pills and simply ate them. As Naruto could feel it, his power was increasing, his chakra once again skyrocketed even further. Even before this, Naruto has absorbed many of the people and many of the chakra animals, turning them into chakra pills, becoming stronger and stronger. And with that, their experience, their knowledge also came to Naruto as Naruto opened his eyes, and his eyes were now the Mangekyo, or rather a really powerful Mangekyo Sharingan was present. As Naruto looked towards his hand, it was inferior to the Rinnegan, but Mangekyo had his own abilities, and Naruto believed that once he absorbed all the members of the Uchiha clan, he will be able to awake the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan that will be even stronger than anyone else. But Naruto frowned a little. It seemed that something was off as Naruto closed his eyes and opened them once again, and this time there was a different pattern in his eyes. It seemed that as Naruto smirked at that, it seemed that Uchiha Makoto, in her last moment, was finally able to awake the Mangekyo Sharingan, and Naruto had gained this ability as well. But Naruto wondered if he can combine both of their power to awake the Eternal Eye. But Naruto simply shook his head. Right now was not the time. It seemed that Naruto will not get only one Mangekyo Sharingan, but the other ones as well, as new ideas started to come to Naruto's mind. He had both of the abilities of Uchiha Fugaku to glimpse into the future and to control anyone for even a cage level shinobi for 10 seconds, while on the other hand, Uchiha Makoto's Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan abilities were rather unique. As Naruto simply smirked at that, but he simply disappeared from there. After all, the Root Ambu were already coming, as Root Ambu had already started to take the bodies of the Uchiha clan member to the root base. This was the order of the Hokage and their leader, Danzo Shimura. At the moment, Danzo Shimura was really happy. His long dream has finally come true. Uchiha clan was finally dead, even if Fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze was a softie in his eyes, but it seemed that he was not that much of a soft person. Even if Makoto and Fugaku had good relationship with Minato and Kushina respectively, but it seemed that Minato was barely worthy enough to be Hokage in the eyes of Danzo, but he was truly happy. His arm was already coming by the hands of Orochimaru and soon enough his arm will come, and the eyes from the Uchiha clan will definitely be used by him for Izanagi as Danzo burst into laughter. But a Ambu arrived. Lord Danzo, Lord Hokage is summoning you in the Hokage office for a meeting as Danzo simply nodded at that as he gave some orders to his root Ambu, which started to surround the root base and the bodies that are present in the root base. And he had to get this meeting over with, and with that, he will finally have what he deserves. With that, Danzo Shimura left the root base. That was the worst mistake he ever made in his whole life. While one figure was watching all of this from far away, this was none other than our protagonist who was watching Shimura Danzo leaving the root base, and a smile came to Naruto's face. While in the Hokage office, Minato Namakase, the fourth Hokage, was looking outside the window towards his village as a sigh came to Minato. He really did not want to do this, but he had little choice left. The pressure from the council as well as the third Hokage and the drastically bad situation of the Uchiha clan really pushed Minato's hand. He really did not wanted to do this, but in the end of the day, he was the Hokage of Konoha. He had to protect the Konoha from everyone and from anything, even if the threat is within the village. As Minato looked back to see that the Elder Council has already arrived, as well as the third Hokage, who looked towards Minato, giving him a look. As Minato simply nodded back, as all of them decided to take their respective seats. But before Minato could say anything, the door was slammed open as Danzo Shimura finally arrived in, as Minato gave a small glare to Danzo but did not say anything. After all, Danzo had a good relationship with Third Hokage as well as the Elder Council, and Minato have to tread carefully around them. As after Danzo entered, as the meeting began about the whole ordeal of the Uchiha clan and what to do afterward. While inside of the root base, Naruto has already arrived in the root base, but he was surrounded quickly by the root Ambu as three of them were present here. Who are you? Show your face, and what are you doing here? As Naruto simply smiled as he opened his eyes, the Mangekyo ability activated as all the root Ambu who had surrounded Naruto were quickly frozen with the Mangekyo ability of Uchiha Fugaku. As Naruto simply smiled as he opened his arm, and just like that, all of them turned into chakra pills in Naruto's hand, which Naruto stored away for now. As Naruto quickly entered in the root base with a single look from Naruto, he was able to freeze all the root Ambu as none of them were able to do anything. The ability of one eye of Uchiha Makoto was to turn intangible for the duration of 2 minutes. No one is able to touch him, but just like the ability of Uchiha Obito, he is unable to touch anyone as well. But the abilities of the Rinnegan in Naruto's hand can still be used. With that, Naruto started to change everyone into chakra pills and small chakra fruits and started to store them away. And finally, Naruto finally arrived to the place of secret experimentation within the root base. As Naruto looked towards the dead bodies of the Uchiha clan, their eyes were still intact. With that, Naruto had a huge smile on his face. He could feel it, the chakra, even though it was leaving their bodies, it was still present within them. And just remember that the Senju Hashirama cell still had chakra after decades after his death. So even though these Uchihas are dead, but their death has only occurred around few hours before, so they still have chakra inside their body. Just wanted to clarify. With that, Naruto raised his hand and all the bodies of the Uchiha clan members started to float and all of them started to combine together. This was something Naruto wanted to try since they belong to the same clan. He believed that it can still be achieved, and just like he previously thought, all of them finally merged together into a single small chakra fruit. As Naruto grabbed the chakra fruit, he could feel it. The immense power of the otsutski belongs in this fruit, even though it was only one half of its aspect, but it was still present. As Naruto opened his mouth and started to eat away the chakra fruit, and within seconds, as Naruto closes his eyes, he could feel it. His Rinne Sharingan in his hand was spinning even more widely as more and more tomos were shining in them. As Naruto opened his eyes, he could feel it. The Eternal Eye was present in it. It was something even stronger than the Eternal Eye, but it was just not here. It seemed that he would have to achieve the power of Hashirama to awake the true power of the Rinnegan in his eyes. Naruto was confused. He already had the power of the Rinnegan, but it seemed that he still have to obtain the power of yin and yang half of the Sage of Six Path to activate the Rinnegan, and just like he previously thought, Naruto could feel the attraction that was coming from one direction of the root base as Naruto simply smiled and started to walk towards that direction. And more root ambu were coming to attack Naruto, but they were simply taken care of. They tried to, you can say, push the alarm, but Naruto could already know that, so he already left some of his clones behind who have activated their eternal Mangekyo Sharingan now. So the root base was quickly surrounded by Naruto as Naruto finally arrived to the locker room. As Naruto opened his arm, Shinra Tensei, with that, a immense force slammed into the barrier that was present here, shattering it apart as Naruto finally arrived, and this was the attraction which Naruto was feeling as Naruto's eyes widened. He really did not thought that Danzo Shimura would be this audacious. This was the body of the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju himself, and Naruto could feel the immense power that resides in this dead body. As Naruto burst into laughter, he did not expect this. The only thing he wanted from here was none other than the bodies of the Uchiha clan, but this was truly something else. As Naruto opened his arm, "Come to me, Hashirama. Your power now belongs to me." With that, Hashirama's body started to float and started to change into the form of a chakra fruit, and it was even more potent than all the Uchihas combined. This really shocked Naruto. Hashirama was dead for decades, and now previously, he has combined all the power of the Uchiha clan, and he had made a small chakra fruit, but Hashirama's body alone had double the size of the chakra fruit than all the Uchihas combined. It seemed that Hashirama was truly a monster, but Naruto was not scared of it. Once he absorbed all the power of Hashirama, he will become even stronger. With that, Naruto quickly grabbed the chakra fruit and he started to absorb all of its power as Naruto's both eyes were suddenly slammed open as his eternal eyes started to rotate even further and further, and all of it started to come together as Naruto once again opened his eyes, and his eyes were finally the Rinne Sharingan in both of his eyes. Well, not the red one only, the Rinnegan with multiple Tomo, 6 Tomo to be exact, in both eyes as Naruto could feel it, the immense connection to the nature around him, and he could also feel that he has finally awoken the Mokiton. The immense chakra shattered all the barriers and all the root base as Naruto was now floating within mid-air. The power of yin and yang has finally combined inside of Naruto, even though he already had the power of the Rinnegan before, but he could always feel that he could never utilize all the abilities of the Rinne Sharingan in his hand. But now Naruto could feel it with the activation of the Rinnegan in his both of his eyes and the activation of all the abilities of Uchiha and Senju in Naruto's body, as well as the existing Uzumaki bloodline in his blood. Naruto has finally awakened the true power of the Sage of Six Path and the abilities of the Rinnegan and the Rinne Sharingan in his hand. As Naruto burst into laughter, with this, he has finally achieved which he always wanted to do, and at the moment he was only 9 years old. As Naruto simply smiled and started to fly over the root base. In this time, Naruto has already absorbed all the root ambu that were present here, and once he absorbs someone, he achieves all of their knowledge, all of their techniques, all of their power, and all of their experience. And at the moment, the experience of the Uchiha clan members, as well as some of the experience of the Hashirama Senju, has already arrived in Naruto's mind. Hashirama's body, Hashirama was dead for too long, so Naruto did not achieve all of his knowledge, but the knowledge of the abilities were still present in Naruto's mind, and that was more than enough. And now Naruto wanted to try something as he opened his Rinne Sharingan, one of the abilities he always wanted to try out but did not do so because of lack of chakra. But now he has absorbed the power of Hashirama, so he can do this. With that, Naruto opened his Rinne Sharingan as all the 5 elements started to surround his hand, and from the Rinne Sharingan, a massive Bijudama started to form all over Konoha. The sensory barriers and the sensory shinobi were in utter shock as the alarm was set off in Konoha, as all the high class member of the Konoha officials were present in the Hokage office as Minato, Namikaze, and the Elder Council were talking about how to deal with the Uchiha fallout, but all of them were in utter shock when the alarms went off as Minato's eyes widened. He quickly activated his Horizon and appeared at the barrier side, wanted to know what happened before he can say anything. A huge explosion took place in the outskirts of forest of Konoha. When Elder Council came out, Danzo Shimura's eyes widened. That was the place of his root base, as well as the Elder Council also realized that what that location truly was as Minato gritted his teeth as he quickly activated his Horizon as he quickly arrived to the location. But there was nothing left other than a huge crater that was present here as Naruto was long gone from there. And Minato looked towards the destroyed location with pure anger in his eyes. He already knew that the dead bodies were present in the root base. Could it be Danzo is trying to trick him? He wanted to use those dead bodies for his own purposes, and he purposely did so as his eyes narrowed, as many of the shinobis has already arrived in the location where Minato was present. As I said, Lord Hokage, as Minato finally looked towards the direction where Third Hokage and the Elder Council has finally arrived as Danzo Shimura stepped forward looking towards his destroyed base. He could not believe it. This was his main base, not the minor base. This was the place where all his experimental equipment and all the results were present. Hell, even the body of the first Hokage was present here, and all the samples of the first Hokage cell, and all the bodies of the Uchiha as well as their Sharingan. Years of scheming was done so that he can achieve the Sharingan and use the power of Izanagi to make himself stronger and become one Hokage one day. And now it's gone, all gone, as Danzo Shimura was truly angry. How? Who did this, Hokage? As he glared towards Minato, as Minato's eyes narrowed towards Danzo. Both of them were suspicious of each other, as Third Hokage quickly realized the situation was not good as he stepped forward. Alright, Danzo, that is enough. Minato, we have to find this. Who did this kind of power? It seemed that this is the power of Bijudama, as Minato simply shook his head. As he said, well, I believe that this is the power of Bijudama. I can feel the presence of a immense chakra radiations. As Danzo quickly realized as he glared towards Minato, Hokage, you have gone too far. You use your own children to attack me, using them and unleashing a Bijudama at my base. As Minato was truly angry now, as before he can say anything, Third Hokage quickly spoke of, enough, Danzo. Both Menma and Mito are only 9 years old. They cannot even channel the chakra of Nine Tails, and I can tell that I cannot sense any of the Nine Tails chakra. It seemed that this Bijudama was sent off outside of the village. After all, they are already at the outskirts of the village. As Danzo was truly angry, if not Menma and Mito, then who could have done something like this? This was his root base, damn it. As Minato quickly gave orders to search for anything useful that could be present in this crater, even though he had little hope for this, but he was still hoping that they would be able to find anything for them to search on. So now let us have a small time skip. In this time, Naruto was becoming stronger and stronger as he has absorbed so many of the stronger shinobi, especially the bloodline. So now, after 3 years of time skip, at the moment Naruto was present in the Mist village as he looked towards the war that is happening in the Mist village, as Naruto had a small smile on his face as he finally removed the hoodie on his head, as his hair had turned into pure white. As he opened his eyes, in his eyes was a Rinne Sharingan in both of his eyes, as well as a Rinne Sharingan that has appeared on his forehead, as well as Naruto was looking down upon the three-tail that was fighting against many of the Mist Shinobi. As Naruto simply smiled at that, and at the moment, Meitsurumi was looking towards Yagura as she had a pure hatred in her eyes. So many of her compatriots has died because of this monster, this Mizukage, who was intent on destroying all the bloodline users within the hidden mist village, and she really hated the Mizukage. As Meitsurumi spoke up, today you die, Yagura. I will not allow you As Yagura looked towards all of these rebels, as Yagura had a smile on his face. No, today you're the one, you disgusting bloodline users who will disappear from the face of the Mist Village. I am the fourth Mizukage, the sole ruler of the Mist Village, and your disgusting blood is not allowed in our village. With that, Yagura started to transform into the form of a three tails, while on the other hand, Naruto was casually walking through the so-called war that is around him. No one is able to see him and no one is able to do anything about him. As Naruto was casually moving and all the bodies of the dead shinobi were floating within mid-air, especially the more powerful one like the cage level and some of the elite Jonins as well, as all of them were floating, especially those who possess the bloodlines. As Naruto simply snapped his finger as all of them turned into chakra fruits and started to disappear from there. As Naruto was still smiling, he really enjoyed this, especially these kind of places which was rich on the bloodlines. On top of that, powerful shinobi, but mostly belonged to the dead one. As Naruto finally arrived in front of the battle, Yagura was already surrounded, and at the moment he was at the losing end. It seemed that Metorumi had somehow gotten her hand on a powerful seal which was suppressing the transformation of the three tails, and now it seemed that Yagura was on the losing side. This was the opportunity Naruto was waiting for. After all, he had little interest left in the bloodlines of the shinobi world. He has already gotten all the bloodlines, while most famous one. But even small chakra was still chakra, and Naruto liked to increase his power, but today he was mainly here for the Biju. He had not absorbed any of the Bijus, but they possessed the power of the true Ten Tails, and Naruto wanted to see what difference it would make for him, as Naruto's bloodline has already achieved the pure purity. After all, after absorbing all the bloodlines of the shinobi world, his chakra and his physical form has become that of the pure Otsutski clan member, and at the moment he wanted to see what these chakra fruits can do with the form of Bijus. And finally, Yagura was defeated by the collected efforts of the bloodline users as Metromi looked towards Yagura. Finally, they have won, as she screamed on top of her lung. With that, all the shinobi started to cheer as Yagura somehow started to stand up. This shock made Rumi. She was wondering what Yagura was doing, but Yagura started to implode all the power of the Biju inside of him, ready for a huge explosion. As Meterumi's eyes widened, this was the backhand left by Obito Uchiha to use the power of the three tails to utterly destroy the future of the Mist Village. As Meterumi started to scream, "Run, run!" as all of them started to run away from Yagura, as Yagura said, "You disgusting bloodline users now but before he can complete his sentence he was quickly stopped as he started to float over. As he looked upward to see Naruto was standing there, his arm was pointed towards Yagura. Enough of this, now turn into chakra fruit. With that, Yagura screamed on top of his lung. He wanted to resist, but he finally turned into a chakra fruit. As Naruto looked towards it, it was combined with Yagura's power, but mainly it was the power of the three tails, which amuses Naruto. As Naruto simply grabbed it and absorbed all of his power, he could feel it. The power was immense, and something inside of Naruto was stirring. It seemed that this was the connection of a Otsutski clan member to that of the power of the Ten Tails, as Naruto thought inwardly, but he was wondering, since he has absorbed the power of three tails, would three tails be reborn once again? Which was rather complexing in Baruto series. But anyways, as Naruto simply nodded at that and started to fly away, while the Miss Shinobi who were running away were wondering what is going on here. Yagura should have detonated the power inside of him, which surprises everyone, as Metorumi also frowned as they quickly looked back to see that Yagura was nowhere to be found. As Metorumi was wondering if Yagura had somehow escaped, but she quickly shook her head. Yagura was the fourth Mizukage. If he has run away, he would definitely return to the village, and that would be troublesome for them. So they have to take over the village as soon as possible before Yagura can gather any more forces. So she quickly gave orders to run towards the village to take over the village. After all, the shinobi had become victorious, so it is time for them to become the new leaders of this village. As they finally run towards the Mist village, but unknown to them, Jagura was already dead as Naruto finally arrived back to the Hidden Leaf village, and at the moment he was looking towards his so-called siblings, still trying to control the two-tailed form of the nine-tailed chakra, as Kushina Uzumaki was present there as well as Jiraiya. Hell yeah, Menma, you can do this, as Kushina screamed at top of her lung, as well as Mito, as both of them were sparring against each other in two-tailed state, and both of them were said to be at the level of a chunin already, and even with the tail chakra, they are even stronger. Even special jonins would have trouble fighting them, and they were really proud of it. As Jiraiya spoke up, well, Kushina, I believe that it is time for them to sign our contracts. But before he can say anything, Tsunade spoke up, you can take Menma, but Mito is definitely signing the slug contract. They are the future of Konoha and the strongest shinobi in the shinobi world. As Naruto simply scoffed at that, the strongest. He has seen so many powerful shinobis, and he has taken their knowledge, their experience, their powers, their bloodlines inside of him. He can crush this whole shinobi world with a single finger if he so desires. And his experience, which he has taken from other people, is also immense. And now he has also absorbed the power of the Mizukage inside of him. As Naruto simply smiled towards both of them soon enough, he is not actually jealous of Menma and Mito. They are simply too weak. The only thing Naruto desires of his so-called beloved siblings was the power of nine tails inside of them, and one day he will take it. Either they like it or not. As Naruto simply smiled at that thought, as he looked towards Jiraiya, he could feel that that scroll had something special, some connection to the nature itself, and Naruto wanted to do something about it as well. As Naruto finally decided to go to his room, as Kushina finally noticed that someone was there, as she quickly looked back to see only the back of one figure. As Kushina sighed inwardly, she also wanted to train Naruto. After all, he was her firstborn son, but looking towards Menma and Mito, who were training in the two-tailed stage, as she simply sighed. Naruto was just an ordinary kid, while Menma and Mito were the Jinchuriki. Their training required too much of the nine-tailed chakra, and nine-tailed chakra can be dangerous for a normal person, and she can only say sorry to Naruto once. They have trained Menma and Mito, and they become strong enough. They will definitely train Naruto as well, she thought inwardly, and promising to Naruto that will never be held anyways. And while on the other hand, in the Hokage office, as Minato looked towards the report which he has gotten from his shinobi about the Mist village, it seemed that the fifth Mizukage has taken the helm of the Mist village and fourth Mizukage has disappeared. As Minato sighed, lately the shinobi world is not in peace. It seemed that the bodies of many powerful shinobis has disappeared from the all five villages. Even Konoha has lost the bodies of powerful shinobis like White Fang and other shinobis like Dan and Senju clan. And Minato was confused about it but decided not to pay too much attention. He had already sent his Ambu to investigate and no results were found, as Minato sighed inwardly. But as at the moment, he had to take care of the Elder Council. Several years ago, root base of Shimura Danzo was destroyed by some unknown shinobi, but many people believe that it was the work of the fourth Raikage because they are the only one with the perfect Jinchuriki like B and two-tailed Jinchuriki, and Minato had even sent a letter for an explanation, but the fourth Raikage did not even bother to reply about it, and Minato cannot go to war for just root division. Even though Danzo Shimura was angry, but they have promised to give funding for a new root division to be found. Even though Minato did not like it, but after the pressure by the third Hokage and the Elder Council, he had to agree to this matter. But he was happy. After all, root base was destroyed and the power of Shimura Danzo was reduced drastically, even if they were to give funding and allow some of the clans to send off their members to join root division. It will take time, and Danzo at the moment was really weak. The aspiration of Danzo were dashed off in a single attack, but one thing angered Minato after he gotten the news from the third Hokage that was the body of the first Hokage, which has also been destroyed in the blast radius of the Bijudama, and Minato was really angry about the situation. First of all, the body of the first Hokage should not have been present in the root division. It should have been in his grave, and even if it was not, it should be under the jurisdiction of the Ambu of Hokage. And Minato really was angry and even fought with third Hokage in this matter and told him to take responsibility of this matter. Even third Hokage was rather angry about this situation as well as awkward. After all, he did not explain it to Minato previously, and now the body of the first Hokage has been destroyed, and now someone has to take responsibility, and Shimura Danzo did not want it to do so. So it all came down to the third Hokage, who had to give some of the power of the Hokage back to Minato as a compensation, but third Hokage still possessed a lot of power of the Hokage in his hand, and Minato was still in an awkward position after years of being Hokage. But now, let us get back to Naruto, as Naruto at the moment was standing in the forest of death as his Rinne Sharingan in his forehead opened as the whole scene changed and Naruto has arrived in a different dimension. As Naruto opened his eyes, his Rinne Sharingan has connected with several dimensions which Naruto can open for his own training. As Naruto simply smiled as he activated his full power state, as a cloak of white immense power surrounded him. In back of him were 8 truth-seeking orbs as all of them started to glow. As Naruto smiled at that, another Naruto appeared in front of Naruto as both of them looked towards each other and disappeared from the place. And now, even though Naruto has gained all the experience of so many shinobis, but it takes time for all of these experiences to come together for Naruto to become stronger. After all, if he's only using the instinct of one shinobi like that of the third Raikage, then he cannot just use the abilities of the fourth Mizukage at the same time because both of them are different people. And even if Naruto has the experience of both of them, it will take time for Naruto and effort from Naruto himself to combine all the experience and all the abilities of so many powerful shinobis to come together for Naruto to make his own fighting stand. With that, Naruto started to train in this dimension of himself, and it was a huge, powerful explosion took place at the center of the battlefield as the whole dimension started to shake, looking around the destruction which Naruto has caused. Only by training with a clone of himself, Naruto had a huge smile on his face. At the moment, he dared say that even if the Sage of Six Paths were to come down to the shinobi world, he, Naruto Uzumaki, will still come on top. With that, Naruto finally came out of his dimension. So now, let us have a time skip of 3 years, and now Naruto and Uzumaki Menma and Uzumaki Mito were at the age of 16. The graduation day has finally arrived as Minato as well as all the Jonins, well, mainly the elite Jonins and the heads of the clans were coming to see the graduation of this year. After all, this year is the most special one. After all, this class contains the clan head children themselves, the clan heirs, so they wanted to see the result of their training, but most of the people already knew that it was only the Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was showing off his children. In Minato's eyes, Menma and Mito were like a bargaining chip. Many people believe that Minato believed the so-called prophecy of Jiraiya that Menma and Mito will be the one to save the shinobi world. But in reality, it is not actually true. Long ago, Minato Namikaze, with ideas to make Konoha stronger and stronger, took the place of the fourth Hokage. But the reality was completely different. He, as the fourth Hokage, was all but a puppet ruler. Not even the Ambu listened to the orders of the fourth Hokage. All the power was in the hand of the third Hokage. But Minato believed that as long as he worked hard enough, as long as he wait long enough, he will get the power of Hokage in his hand. But longer the time passed, third Hokage had no intention of giving power to Minato. Hell, he even divided it even further with the Elder Council, giving Minato little to no power, which angered Minato. He had tried everything, but in the end of the day, the Elder Council were like a mountain on top of Minato's head. He wasn't able to get any power from them, but when he heard that Jiraiya had explained about this so-called prophecy, Minato had a new idea. Man and Minato were the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, two powerful Jinchurikis, two powerful children who had the potential to become cage level, two powerful bargaining chip for Minato to use to get power from the Elder Council in his hand. So that was the plan. That was the reason Minato allowed Menmal Mito to be trained from a very young age by Jiraiya, by Tsunade, by powerful shinobi openly using this so-called prophecy as a distracting tactic, as many people believe that it was because of Jiraiya sensei that Minato gave so many attention to Manma and Mito and ignored Naruto, but in reality, it was because both of them were the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. As long as both of them have the complete control over the Nine Tails, then they will be the future Hokage and Minato's position will become even stronger. So that was the reality of the so-called neglect of Naruto, because it is a power play for Minato. As Minato looked towards Menma and Mito with smile on his face, and just like he previously thought, more powerful Menma and Mito became, more powerful Minato became, as many people started to love Menma and Mito and even started to believe the so-called prophecy of Menma and Mito as an agenda which Minato himself promoted. And now his power is steadily surpassing that of the Elder Council, as Minato was really happy about this whole situation, and now looking towards his children, his eyes finally met with that of his eldest son, and a small frown came to Minato's face. Honestly, he do not hate Naruto or anything like that. After all, that is his own son, but Minato was simply too busy in a power struggle with the third Hokage, so he had to ignore Naruto for the training of Menma and Mito. He still remembered that Kushina wanted him to start the training of Naruto, but it seemed that it has to wait a little bit. Maybe after the Chunin exam, once Menma and Mito became Chunin, they will give some guidance to Naruto as well, as Minato thought to himself. And after all, he was not exactly an evil person or anything like that. This is just power play and all that. As Iruka finally stepped forward, alright, the graduation exam is gonna begin today. So after I'm gonna test everyone on their ninjutsu and taijutsu, we are gonna have a small tournament to see who is truly gonna be the rookie of the year. With that, everyone was ready to show their merit. After all, the head of departments are present here, so as long as they show their abilities, they will have a bright future. Even if they do not become the rookie of the year, they still have the chance to become apprentice to some of the powerful figures that are present here. With that mindset, all of them started to show their abilities, and finally it was time for Menma and Mito as they quickly make shadow clones, surprising many of the people there. And in the end of the day, all of them graduated, and finally Ruka spoke up. Alright, Uzumaki and Naruto. With that, there was silence in the room. Not many people know about Naruto. He was always silent at the back of the class, not paying too much attention, and not many people has fought him, and to surprise of many, even the compulsory classes of the taijutsu, he was never fought against by anyone. This surprises many people. Even Aruka himself was a bit confused about the situation, but not he himself did not knew that it was because Naruto has used the abilities of his Rinnegan to control Aruka, to ignore him. That was the reason no one knows anything about Naruto. As Naruto finally stepped forward, as Aruka spoke up, alright Naruto, you have to make some clones, substitution, and transformation jutsu, and you can show a jutsu if you want to. With that, Naruto simply nodded, did not even make hand signs, as several clones appeared beside Naruto. After all, Naruto has gained so many abilities, so he's not actually gonna hide them or gonna show it later or anything like that. He wanted to show it now. With that, as all the transformation and substitution was done without hand signs, shocking many of the people there, as Minato's eyes narrowed at that. Could it be that he had underestimating the potential of Naruto? It seemed that he has to test it out. After all, if Naruto truly has potential, then he could also be a great bargaining chip for Minato to gain more power from the third Hokage. As he looked at the corner of his eyes, looking towards the third Hokage as well as the Elder Council, who were looking towards each other in nervousness. After all, the Elder Council do not wanted Minato to have too much power, and the only way for them to stop it is to stop Menma and Mito, but they are the damn Jinchurikis of the Nine Tails, and Konoha needed the power of the Nine Tails, so there's nothing wrong with Hokage training his own children and the Hokage training the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Konoha needed that, and they cannot stop it. And now it seemed that even the firstborn, who was somehow ignored by everyone, seemed to have a lot of potential. Even third Hokage's eyes narrowed towards Naruto. He did not like that Menma and Mito are already enough, and he did not want Minato to have too much power. After all, balance is required. As he gave a look to Danzo, whose eyes narrowed at that as a vicious look came to Danzo's eyes. It seemed that this ignored son of the Hokage, he had to get rid of him. And with that, Naruto simply looked towards Iruka. Alright, do you want to show any technique? As Naruto simply smirked and nodded at that as he made his hand forward as a Rasengan started to appear in Naruto's hand. This surprises many people, even Menma and Mito raised an eyebrow at that. They also showed the Rasengan. So Naruto also knows about it. Maybe he picked it up when Jiraiya sensei was training them as they looked towards each other, but they did not pay too much focus. But suddenly, the Rasengan started to expand and turn into pure red as Naruto simply pointed it towards one direction and unleashed the Rasengan. A Rasengan, which has turned into pure red with the fire chakra inside of it, was slammed into the mountainside of the academy, and a huge explosion took place, shattering several of the trees, making a gigantic crater there. As the huge air and fire rushes toward the children, several Jonin step forward and unleash waterfall technique to stop the raging fire and heat. This surprises everyone that is present there. Even Minato stood up in utter shock. No one knows that Minato was also able to channel lightning chakra into the Rasengan, but it was after years of effort. Not even Menma and Mito can do that at this point. And Minato looked towards Naruto with excitement in his eyes. It seemed that Naruto truly has potential. A new burgeoning chip has finally appeared in Minato's game. As he looked towards the third Hokage with the amusement in his eyes, as third Hokage did not pay too much attention to Minato, but he was looking towards Naruto, and almost a murderous look came to third's eyes, but it disappeared quickly as he gave another look to Danzo, and a smile came to Third's face. Well, Minato, congratulations. It seems that all three of your children are prodigies. I did not expect Naruto to be this powerful as well, but it seemed that the child of 2 cage level shinobi is a powerful shinobi himself. As Minato simply nodded at that. Well, that is the result of his efforts, Lord Third. But do not worry, I will teach him everything later on. As Third simply nodded at that. Well, it seemed that the future of Konoha is secured. With that, Third gave a smile to Minato as Minato smiled back, looking like the good relationship between the grandfather and grandson. But no one knows the calculation behind the words of both of these characters. And finally, Iruka came to attention. Well, that is impressive, Naruto-san. Alright, you take your position. As Iruka was sweating hard, that technique was more than powerful enough to kill 10 of Irukas. And finally, Iruka said, alright, so we are gonna start our tournament. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. For the next part, the like goal is gonna be 100 likes, 20 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.